So we're gonna get to some CU podcast memories here. First one's from Karen. Hey, Karen, who's also helping out with the book project at Niamla. I still love Pat's rant about his crappy days at Suncoast.
Who doesn't?
That the worst job ever. Once again, I worked on it. I think it was after I had my knee surgery in college. Right at the dawn of DVDs, for the most part. You still have maybe only 150 DVDs or less. And yeah, we'll just have Pat rearrange the VHS or alphabetize the VHS section sci-fi they did the day before, and I'll just take one and put it out of place to make sure he has busy work. Instead of what you should do for making $505 an hour, just hang out at a fucking video store and just goof off. We'll just make his life out. Oh yeah, and by the way, we'll also sexually harass him too. We'll just do that too at $505 an hour.
This one's from Chronic Kevin at Tarnac. This is kind of an all-encompassing one. Kevin really likes the Tommy Tallarico finger gauge, which I probably should be using more often. He fondly remembers the T-Rex arms, which I'm still doing to this
you
day.
just did it 2 seconds ago.
Danny Sullivan, of course, everyone loves Danny.
Not sure what he's talking about.
I've never heard of that man. Takade, which I brought back as a throwback jersey sort of deal for tonight, being it's the 50th episode.
Throwback alcohol.
And realizing Frank is Pat's adopted father.
If only.
And the
CU podcast WWE
that was awesome.
at Survivor Series, was it?
I believe so.
That was great. Was that the one with my face on it? That was fantastic. Okay. Yeah, those are all great moments. I mean, can't go wrong with those. At MSU Hitman, Ian's segment on the bad customers. Little bitch! That segment got me to subscribe and still watch every 2 weeks.
I'm sorry that I don't have more. The thing is, I get so many, like...
You gotta write them down.
Yeah, I do.
I know you write a lot for the CU Podcast Patreon.
Yes. I've been getting better at that.
Have you? I don't know. I don't keep track of you like I should.
Yeah. The segment that so I have so many of those bad stories. People love them. I try not to always rant about things that suck. But yeah, I mean, working in retail, I meet a lot of good people. Unfortunately, the good people don't always make for the most amusing stories. So yeah, there's going to be a lot of horror stories from customers. Eric Slattery. Love Scumbag Seller segments, especially the Cincinnati Scalper. I like how it's capitalized. This is like
the interview.
Like the
Cincinnati Scalper
campground killer. Yeah.
Cincinnati Scalper.
The Cincinnati Scalper who bought the interview tickets and couldn't sell them.
Oh, did we take him to the woodshed on that segment?
That was fun.
Oh, did we beat that little rat-faced bastard up for trying to freaking... Basically, what he tried to do was buy all the interview tickets. Remember when it was in limited release, like Christmas fucking weekend, and on Christmas? He tried to make money off it. And
on Christmas fucking day.
They didn't sell, and then he tried to get his money back and was complaining that the movie theaters didn't give back a scalper back at the movie tickets, which they didn't have to. What an asshole.
Yep.
At That Ass Is My Boss, which could be still one of my favorite names of any person who's ever tweeted a question at us. His CU podcast memory is any conversation you guys have about Zack Snyder is always classic. In fact, I wish you could make it a weekly segment.
I'm glad we can't make it another
the Zack Snyder segment of the week.
The funny thing is that I realize that even when I'm feeling completely calm, and I say at the beginning of a Zack Snyder segment that I'm not going to get upset about something or yell, that I always betray myself, and I do every single time because he's a fucking piece of shit. The end.
We'll never get in a WB movie now, Ian.
Yeah, oh no.
He's a built guy. You shouldn't mess with Zach. This is at Geekpur. The moment Ian Shatton protested the Turtles movie, and just some good yelling. Yeah. I actually watched that one like last week. I think that's one of the more popular ones we ever did.
I just say stuff and it comes out of my mouth, and sometimes it doesn't really make any sense.
You didn't
but I hope
see that.
It's
Did you see the Turtles movie?
No.
You're gonna see the sequel with Seamus as Bebop in it?
Double no.
The double no.
No, I will double shit myself in protest of that. I will pee in my own mouth.
At Super Duper Subby, when Pat finally gave us the scoop on his NWC Gold card acquisition story, classic episode. See, when I guess I don't appreciate that people want to hear about, like, to them it's like finding something really important. Sure. For me, it was just, I'm just getting rid of a lot of money that I could be using towards like my mortgage or going on vacations. But yeah, that was a cool story. I met the guy in Chicago, Mike, very nice guy. Yeah, I hope you appreciate me wasting money. At Stewie, simply Pat's hair. know where else you can go with that. I gotta get a cut.
It's funny because I'm the shaggy dog. I mean, but your hair just kind of grows.
My hair just grows out, not down.
You look a lot like Ludwig Koopa when your hair gets out of control. If we could just dye your hair blue, you would look just like him.
Go Sean Baby mode. At Reckless Youth 26, when Ian had to play and review DuckTales Remastered. Yeah, because he was forced to because someone mailed it in a year and a half after he said he was going to play and review
Because
it.
I knew
that still bothers me, by the way, that you basically just bagged on the whole thing.
Because I didn't want to play it. I knew
But
it
you
wasn't...
said you were going to review it.
Yes, and I didn't feel like dumping $15 on something I knew I wasn't going to like.
Oh my god.
The thing is I finally did. Thank you to Alan, I believe, Thompson. I did play it, and I did review it. And the thing is my review, I think, I rarely go back, but I went back to that segment and I listened. My review came across, I think, as pretty even. I complimented the game in a number of areas and very, very calmly explained why I didn't like it. And I still, to this day, just get shit comments.
Do you really?
Yeah, on how horrible.
On where?
Both the YouTube video and occasionally
Why would you
Twitter.
check the YouTube comments from that?
I don't know, because I felt like maybe I was reasonable enough to have people be like, "Oh, okay, I get it."
It's
but
YouTube.
yeah, it's YouTube.
You're gonna learn that you should not respond on YouTube. You still that's one thing you haven't learned in 50 episodes of the CU podcast.
Because sometimes I just like going toe to toe with those fucking scumbags.
Oh god, that's not gonna be helpful.
Peyton Ellis 767. Pat and Ian laughing about the Atari games based on Denny.
I think we were laughing more about the negative reaction, the over-the-top reaction had the people that Denny's was destroying the Atari legacy of Space Invaders and and Missile Command. And it was just like they're stupid little mini games on your freaking phone with ketchup bottles instead of a Space Invader. Like. How could you get bent out of shape at that? You're not what are you talking about? It was the argument is what's silly. The games are silly too, but the argument is what made it even sillier.
Yeah, exactly.
To us, it was just like, why are you getting bent out of shape on this? It's so dumb.
It's so
and it's
so meaningless in the long.
It's actually cute to me. At Mega 5K, I'm really biased, but one of my favorite CU podcast memories is Yacht Gum. I'm not ashamed to admit it. So I'm not positive. I think we were talking about...
I think we were talking about Yacht Club games in a discussion about Shovel Knight when Shovel Knight was coming out. No, I think what happened was you said Yacht Club, and I thought you said Yacht Gum, or the other way around. Either way, it was like the last thing we were doing at the night. I remember we were tired, and I remember we laughed about it considerably. I actually don't remember the exact circumstances.
If it was Yacht Club games, I could have mixed together clubbing games, made it...
Yeah.
I could have just said Yacht Gum, which is still funny.
That might have been it.
And we just talked about this one at iBrainiac. For some reason, I'm picturing the drunk Southern man that was just looking to make a deal. Little bitch. That man ever come back in?
No, but it's a funny one to close on because when it's not like it happens every time, but a lot of times when people walk into the store, people who perhaps have more boisterous personalities, or are a bit more forward, and I don't dislike it. I think it's funny, but they will come in. And instead of being like, "Hi, fan of the podcast," they'll be like, "Little bitch," and I'm like, "Nice to meet you, listener of the podcast."
That could be a CU podcast T-shirt.
Little bitch.
But you know, it should be a CU podcast T-shirt.
Danny Sullivan.
Danny Sullivan.
Mm-hmm.
So, it's in the works. It's not ready because I'm extremely busy, but we will be putting out a new T-shirt available. It'll be on Teespring, and it'll be a Danny Sullivan CU podcast exclusive shirt. So be on the lookout for that. I don't know, a couple weeks. I got to do a new Pat Danny's Punk episode. Ian's got to finish writing for the book and blow bubbles.
It's really good gum.
Bubbles will appreciate it. So if you like us, we have a Patreon. It's patreon.com/pixelsickle, and you can watch this every week. You can watch it, as it's recorded and uploaded. And then we want to just thank you guys for being on board for almost 2 years, 50 episodes.
Yeah, that's nuts.
Not including the one-offs like me interviewing Brendel Floss and the podcast guiding, as Ian calls it, at Too Many Games.
Well, it's crazy because I think back, right? And it doesn't seem like it's been that long, but
it feels like that long to me.
2 years ago, I hadn't even proposed to Vonnie, let alone was I married. I looked completely different. My hair was short and I had no beard.
You're very much scarier now.
Yeah, I don't know.
I saw the hair. I started growing my hair out longer in late 2012. So my hair wasn't as long as this, but it was longer. And I probably was a little cute, chubbier Pat then, but it was fun doing the first couple in the room,
No, it was awkward.
and then graduating to here.
That was better.
You were awkward. You're still awkward.
Mm-hmm.
I believe.
That's fine.
Here's to 50 more.